Hello, guys. Gonna let YouTube catch up. Always try to count how many seconds it's off. One, two. Still not on there. How are you guys doing? Everybody having a good week? I just talked to you guys Wednesday. Come on. Tell me whenever you see me. Oh, I think here we go. Hello.
Tell me whenever you
Oh,
see me.
and I didn't mute it.
Oh, I think here we go.
Sorry. I always forget to mute that silly thing. How is everybody? Everybody good? Everybody good? There we go. Now it's moving. I see Chelsea, Amber, Linda, Truth Sleuth, Algo. Everybody tell Algo congratulations. He's our new official lawyer in the house, which was a big week for him. I see Stephanie. I already said Chelsea, Tina. I see me, Lisa. I think that's everybody until I scroll back down. Jennifer, Sandy Lee, okay, all these great people. So, we're going to talk about some cool stuff today. I'm going to tell you guys about some Patreon and members only perk thing that I've added. No pressure if it's something you want to do. I'm going to tell you guys about it. There's a couple of true crime updates. My kid just opened the door and he's about to get in trouble if he doesn't shut it back because I'm live. There we go. Y'all have those kids? I've got those kids every week at the same time. We do this every week. Anyway, okay, so I want to talk about, I'm sure you guys want to talk about summer, even though we just did 2 hours Wednesday about summer. I really liked the Wednesday chat though. I had so much fun. It was 2 hours, but it seemed to like really go by quick. We talked about a lot of stuff. If that's something you guys liked, I'll schedule another one for Wednesday because I thought it went over really well. There was a good turnout. Everybody was talking, so it kept me busy. I liked having a Wednesday talk. Maybe that's something we can do. Wednesday we'll talk about a specific case or something, and then Sunday we'll just kind of cover a little bit of everything and whatever's left. Right? Sounds good. Okay, a couple of case updates. This has been just a weird week for me, so I did not get caught up on anything. But do you guys remember the James Hutchinson case? The little boy whose mom in Ohio took him to a reserve, a nature reserve, and tried to leave him, and she ran over him and killed him, and then took his body and allegedly threw it in the Ohio River, and he has not been recovered. Y'all remember that one? Oh, hello. I don't recall. And Rosie. Yeah. Okay, so that case is moving. Um, I still have the pictures. I'm such a terrible person. I have the pictures from his birthday party that his family threw him. I'm going to put that together. I'm going to put it in the video. I'm going to do an update video. Yeah, I think we all remember that one. That one was one of the first cases that I covered on this channel. His mom and her boyfriend are due back in court on the 18th and I think the 20th of this month. So that's coming up quick. Her defense attorney just filed a motion to suppress her testimony. So I'm sure they're going to be doing that little hearing before her actual preliminary trial starts, but that's supposed to happen on the 18th. There was a rumor that she took a plea deal, but that's not confirmed. And since he filed a motion to suppress, I can't imagine that she's taking a plea deal. They wouldn't have filed that. So, if you guys remember, she went to the police station to report him missing, and her story didn't add up. And so, as they were filling out a missing child report, I guess they asked one too many questions, and allegedly she broke and confessed to the whole thing. So obviously she wasn't Mirandized. They were taking a missing child report from her, and she confessed. So now her lawyer is trying to get that thrown out. She's already tried the insanity plea. They've already told her, learning disabilities do not make you criminally insane. They had her tested and all that fun stuff, and she was fine. Of course, she was fine. As fine as you can be and kill your own child, I guess. But keep that family in your prayers. They're really, this is awful. You know, it's bad enough. James has siblings. I think he has two, and but he was the only child to his dad. So this has been really, really, really hard on them. And he was trying to get James right before um, she did what she did. So that family's been through the ringer. Been through the ringer. So we're going to keep our eyes on that case. Like I said, that's get her preliminary trial is scheduled for August 18th. And then I think James Hamilton, her boyfriend, is scheduled for August 20th. I think they're 2 days apart. We're not going to see a death penalty in that case. Apparently, from what I understand in the state of Ohio, whenever they press charges, if they do not press charges as aggravated, you cannot seek the death penalty. I don't know, guys. If you're for or against the death penalty, I guess, you've already kind of decided what you want. I don't. It doesn't bother me, I'll be honest. There are some people I think I would be okay pushing the button, especially if it has to do with a kid. So there's the update on that for James. I'd say we're looking forward to that. We are not looking forward to that. I am looking forward to making the video for his little memorial because I've got some really good pictures. I hope that helps his dad and the rest of his family. They're good people. They reached out to me after I made my first video, so I've talked to a couple of them. They're really really sweet. They are. They're in a hard spot with him though. This is rough. So the other update we have is my very first video. Let's just see how long y'all go back. Do you guys remember Jaron Pridgeon? Y'all remember him out of Oklahoma? Muskogee, Oklahoma? He is, he was 26. 26. He lived with his girlfriend, his brother, that was 1 year younger than him. So 3 adults, 7 kids. 7 kids. 4 of them were his, I believe, 4 or 5. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again. Um, and he shot and killed his brother. 5 of the children died, and it's not making an excuse or downplaying this, but it's odd. The 5 that he shot, not all of them were his, and some that he didn't harm were his, which was strange. And then he shot the mom, and she lived. I cried like a baby when I heard this story. When I saw it on the news, I I saw a couple of interviews you can go back and find that video. It's the very first video that I ever did on this channel. Um, the interviews with her sister were absolutely heartbreaking. She was in a little bit of a coma. Can you even imagine? What do you tell a woman? At the time, I thought it was all 5 of her kids. I thought that she lost them all. She had two that survived. But my gosh, how do you tell that to a mom? How do you do that? So I also released the 911 call. He shot the mom, dialed 911, talked to them for a minute, handed the phone to her, and she thinks she's going to die. I mean, you can tell the stuff that she's saying. She thinks she's going to die. He does not leave the house. It was crazy. He stood there. And when the first responders pulled up, he went to the door with a firearm. And when you do that to law enforcement, they tend to shoot you. Fortunately for him, I guess, that one didn't hit him. And that must have scared the crap out of him. I'm assuming he was probably going for a suicide by cop, but I don't know. But the cop missed, and that scared the crap out of him, and he took off running. And if I remember right, it's a canine. It was a dog that got him. They took him in, arrested him. His trial proceedings, whatever, got thrown in. He had to stay because they were getting his mental health records from another state. He already had felonies and all kinds of mess. So that case got some movement. Um, in Oklahoma, they are required within, I think it's 60 days, to release to the public the 911 call and any body cam footage. And of course, his lawyers tried to argue that one out, and they decided to heavily redact it, but it was released. But now it went back to court a week, maybe a week and a half ago. They've decided to seal the case. There will be no media in the courtroom, nobody to record it, nothing. There will not be even one camera pull. It's going to be just them. Um, they think that it's going to be really harmful for a lot of people to see it, and I understand that. Not the first time we've seen that kind of thing. It's what happened with Patrick Frazee. Unless you were sitting there, you didn't get it. They couldn't record it. They could live tweet about it. They reported on it after the fact, and it's never been released since. But I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they don't release it after the fact. If you don't want to show it, fine. But I wish they would release it after the fact. But that's just me. So there's that one. Letitia Stouck's next court date is coming up. I think it will probably get kicked down the road a little bit since she just got that new defense attorney assigned to her. I can't imagine. I don't remember off the top of my head how many pages of discovery she had, but I want to say it was like 75,000 at that point. And I don't know how they would have gone through it this quick. But she's scheduled to go, I think, September 20th. So we'll see how that goes. But there's a gag order in that case. And I fully expect they're going to do the same thing as they did with Patrick Frazee. I don't think they're going to let cameras in the courtroom. Which might do her some good because I think she really wanted to make a show, have a circus. I think it really would have played into her whole thing. She likes to be center of attention. So maybe not giving her a spotlight is a good thing. It's certainly got to be better for the family. Yeah. So what are you guys saying? What other stuff do you guys want to talk about today? I don't have a super long list of stuff to talk about. I'm going to touch on and have a couple of people come on here in a little bit, and we're going to talk about some stuff that I still want to clear up. So I do want to show you guys the things that I'm doing for Patreon and channel members. I do want to do that. Holy buckets. What are we saying holy buckets about? Oh, Paisley Dreams. Hello. There's Bubs. Hello. You never heard about that one. Are you talking about Jaron Pridgeon? A lot of people didn't hear about that one. It got a little bit of national coverage, probably the week that it happened, maybe the first 2 weeks, and then nothing. I have the little tweet deck going on my computer, and I always bookmark every person, every case hashtag that I make, and I'm the last one that ever put his name in a hashtag, and that's back in March. End of March was when I posted that video. Y'all are saying, yep. Oh, going back to James Hutchinson, I bet you James Hamilton, the mom's boyfriend, I bet you he takes a deal. I bet. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Julie. Jenny. Is Letitia still getting messages in her peanut butter? I hope so. Julie Marshall. Rosie. Yep. Looks good. Oh, thanks for the super sticker, Rosie. You're the best. I like it when Rosie's around. She always has the cutest emojis and really sweet messages. I was gonna say she always has super stickers. That's probably not the way to frame that. Thank you for supporting my channel. So, speaking of supporting the channel, um, I toyed around with the idea of hello, Kathleen. I just saw that. Um, doing some live streams and that kind of stuff that were members only, and somebody brought it to my attention that they didn't want to miss out on all that stuff. And I know not everybody can pay for channel memberships and all that stuff, and nor should you have to. And so I made it a point to figure out what I could do to give channel members extra perks, but not necessarily lock people out. You know what I mean? So I love games and I like to talk to people. So I decided to look into Hunt a Killer. Do y'all know what that is? It is a subscription box service. Once a month, they send you. And it's kind of like those, do you know those like murder mystery dinners that you can go to sometimes? It's kind of like that, but it's in a box. So you can work it by yourself, you can work it in a group. They even have versions that are just for date night for two people. But basically, you get all the evidence and you get a story and clues and that kind of stuff. And it's really cute. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. But you work it together and you figure out who did it and put all the pieces. It's like a live action clue game, except it's not on a board. It has little artifacts in it or whatever. So I thought I got a coupon code. So if you go to my link, whether you're decide to do it with me, you just want to do it by yourself, or you want to do it with your friends, you can still use the discount code that I will probably link because I didn't think about copying that down before I came in here. You'll get $10 off your first box, which is pretty good. And everybody that wants to join, the only thing that I ask is you either do Patreon or channel membership, whichever one you want. It doesn't matter what tier it is. And we're all going to get together and everybody's going to get their box. They ship to a bajillion countries and we're going to do it together. We're going to work it together. And I'm going to record it and then I'll release it and people can watch it later. But to play with us, you got to be part of the team. The cool kid group, the murder mystery whodunits. I don't know. We probably need a title for this group. Now, if we have a lot of people do it, I will break the groups apart. I figure 6 people is probably optimal, 5, 6 people. So if we get enough people, I'll just divide it up and I'll do it in different time zones because I know some people from Euro across the pond are going to do it. A few of them have already done it, and then obviously we have all kinds of different West Coast, East Coast, Australia, whatever. So I'll just divide it up into groups. I will participate in all of them, so you guys aren't going to get stuck with a bunch of people that you don't know and then be like, we wanted to talk to Jess and that didn't happen. So I will do however many groups we need to do to make room. So that's that. And it's not something you have to invest in long term. You can do one, and if you don't like it, you can cancel it. Or if you miss the first one because you've got football going on or whatever, and you see how much fun we have, sign up for the next month and then join us. You can do it at any time. As long as we're having fun with it, we'll keep doing it. It's a once a month kind of thing. It sounds like it's going to take about 3 hours, but I think we're really smart. Maybe we can do it 2.5, maybe 2, who knows. We'll probably talk about food. I know we'll all be eating food because I know how we are. You know who I'm talking to. So I'm going to show you guys this. It's kind of like a little commercial for this doohickey. It is on my community tab, the post asking about it. I posted a poll, and in the first comment that's pinned is the link. So you can get your discount code. You just have to click on that link. If you're doing it with us, be sure when you go to the store, it's divided up, and some of them say premiums, and then subscription. Then they have other like merch kind of things. You don't want to buy any of the premium boxes. If the box has a name, you're on the wrong one. Click on new monthly membership. Yeah. Um, and it won't have a name yet, but it says you can buy it, 6 months prepaid if you want to. I would suggest you only do a month and let's see how we all like it. And then if you don't like it, we can cancel it. We'll try to find something else. That kind of stuff. So there should be a link in the description box here to Patreon, to channel membership, Discord. If you're not in my Discord, I don't know what y'all are doing. It's super fun over there. It's so dang busy, I can't even keep up with it all. I opened up Summer Wells today and I was 235 postings behind. And that's just one case. There is a ton of people over there, all talking, they're all having a good time, all that fun stuff. There's no rules. Well, there's two rules. Number one, be nice. Number two, see rule number one. I don't tell you what you can't post. I don't tell you what kind of opinion you can have, what you can and can't talk about. I don't care. I like talking to different people or hearing different ideas. I don't like sitting in a vacuum. It's not fun. Okay, so I'm going to show you this commercial before I forget about it. Oh, I'm trying to click the wrong link. Is this it? Yep, share screen. Window. Tab. Share audio. Alrighty. Wait a minute. I have to add it to the stream. Nope. There we go. Okay. I'm going to play this.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
Oh, it feels like toys in here.
Oh, there's a light.
I like that we have a map.
Oh, a compass.
You know what's cooler? Like having a cup.
This is like very realistic.
You could like actually use this stuff.
This is probably the suspects.
Why
Why is it so cold down here?
This is like those chainsaw movies.
No. Compared to other like mystery boxes, you actually have the clues that you need here, and it is very detailed.
It's a game with souvenirs.
All right. Oh, I don't think we need to play all that. Okay. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that sounds fun? I'm super excited about it. I've been looking at that subscription box for over a year. But y'all know I already buy makeup boxes and I'm like, I don't need to do that too. But now that I have people that will play with me, because my husband was not going to be big on that one. And we play a lot of board games. We're a pretty gaming family. But I thought, hey, these people like me. We can play a game. That's something we can do. We can play with everybody. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. So what's everybody saying in chat? What do you guys want to talk about today? Before I get into the last thing I want to bring up. We can talk about it for a while. I don't know how well that one's going to go. See, I'm getting Discord notifications now. Y'all are in Discord talking, and you should be over here listening to my live. I'm kidding. The Discord part of all the links. There should be a link to it in the description box. If not, one of the mods will put up a new Discord invite if that one's not working. You couldn't get your kids to play, so you gave up. I hear you, Woman of Steel. That sounds normal. Some of you made it. You guys are so funny. Says the link is invalid. Is that the Discord link? Because we will get a new one up there in a minute, I'm sure. The mods are usually pretty quick about that. And if the mods forget, there's a channel called Links in Discord up above the mod chat where everything should be pinned. Any random topic. yeah, I guess we'll see where this goes. Try not to get me demonetized. Let's just keep it that way. If there's something you guys want to talk about, like I had a lot of fun Wednesday. We had two people come on panel. One was named No One, and one is Algo. And they came in and talk about summer whales, not for the whole time, but for a good chunk of it. I had a lot of fun. So if there's something that you guys want to talk about and are like, hey, I want to come on panel and talk about whatever, send me a message on Discord or send me an email. If y'all know of a case that I should be talking about, oh, speaking of that, anyway, email me, message me on Discord. You can leave a comment on upcoming lives if you want, any of that kind of stuff. I think that would be fun. Start talking to people, not just talking to myself and reading stuff off the screen because there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, you fixed it. Okay, thank you, Algo. You fixed it. Oh, I know a lot of people are talking about this case. Is that out of California? The guy with the two small kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about. With the spear fishing weapon. I thought I would talk about that until I really got into it. And I've seen some other YouTubers talk about it. So I don't always talk about the stuff everybody else talks about. I tend to talk about kind of quiet things. And they usually have a CPS connection. So I don't feel bad not talking about that one. But when I saw the crazy conspiracy group that's tied to that one and how they're already making stuff difficult for some YouTubers, I was like, you've got time for that headache. I ain't got time for that. Is this a new channel, Nancy Drew? This channel was started on March 25th. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't even with that case either. It's going to be an absolute craziness, I think, here on YouTube. I'm not saying other people shouldn't cover it. I know that it's going to be a big one. The surfer, yep. Yep. New member, thank you, Woman of Steel. She definitely wants to play this Hunt a Killer game. Absolutely. That was so sad. I mean, when you talk about, it reminds me, and Hot Scorpio Rouge, if you're in here, you might be able to refresh my memory. There was a Chris Watts type case in Australia, and he killed his wife, his baby. I don't remember if there was more than one kid, but the baby was still in a crib. I mean, he was, I think it was a little girl, and he killed her with something, crossbow, spear, something loaded like that, projectile. And I've heard people say that's one of Australia's worst cases. It was terrible what he did to his wife, how he tried to get rid of the bodies and stuff. It was supposed to be really, really bad. It reminded me of that when I first heard it. Yeah, that one was terrible. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? It was, I don't know why they referred to it as a Chris Watts type case, because if I remember right, it was before Chris Watts was a case. Pretty sure. Oh, I scrolled up again. I'm like, I already read that. You can't, brown eyed girl. I can't do Discord. It makes me anxious. I hear you. It makes my brain have like 472 tabs open in my browser. That's what it does to me, because I just bounce around and I'm like, wait, where am I talking again? Where did I see that? Who was I talking to? That's how Discord usually goes in my brain. Is there any news on Michael Monkey? No, which is really, really sad to me because he's been missing now for over 2 weeks. I have not seen anything other than they're still searching. I think some more organizations have come in, but didn't East Idaho News just cover it this week? Trying to give it some more attention. It's finally getting around to a little more national attention. But to be honest, I think so many people are wrapped up in Summer Wells that it's not. I don't know. I don't know why. Why do certain cases get more coverage than others? I don't know. It's hit and miss. To be honest, usually if it is a blonde haired, blue eyed kid, they get noticed nationally pretty quick. But this one doesn't seem to be. I know there's a handful of places talking about it. Obviously, it's national because I'm in Tennessee and that's in Idaho. But from what I understand, they've got nothing. Or if they do, they're not talking, Well, Nancy Drew, it's nice to have you. Amber, so sad about Michael. Yeah. Can't understand all the missing kids. Me either. Me either. But to put it in perspective, August is one of the highest rated months of the entire year for missing kids. They say that psychologists tie it to going back to school, that it's a very stressful time in families. Stressful people do bad things, I guess, sometimes. It's August, and what other month was it? Was it December? January? It was around the holidays. I think it's January. I think it's August and January. You've always questioned why some get attention and some don't. Yeah. Oh, there's no one. No one came on my live Wednesday. That was a super ton of fun. She has an accent like I do. More kids waiting at the bus stop. Yeah. You haven't seen East Idaho? No, okay, maybe I'm getting that screwed up. I saw another news station in Idaho cover it, and I wanted to say it. I thought in my brain it clicked with Nate Eaton. Too much fallow nonsense going on. Maybe East Idaho News didn't carry it. I thought he did though. More dramatic, the more media attention. Yeah. Which is why Summer Wells is kicking off, huh? What do y'all think about that? I'm still waiting for there to be actual news in that case to make a video about it because I'm not making a video about rumors. I'll talk about that here on Hearsay all day long. Twice on Tuesday, but I'm not making an update video till something happens and law enforcement ain't saying a word. Except they want you to know they are still looking. This is still a priority. And they're not working with psychics. I can't believe they released that, but that was a statement. They're not working with psychics, so quit asking, apparently. I like Nancy Drew's name too. No one. Yeah, Surfer Dad and Serpent DNA. Not touching that. Yeah. Okay, well, who want to talk about Daybell? Who wants to talk about Daybell? The sheriff in Michael's case is so eloquent. Yeah, that town. I was proud of being from East Tennessee when I saw the turnout of the local people for summer. But that town that little Michael is from, they care about him. There were businesses in town family-owned businesses that shut down and put on their like marquees or signs or whatever that they would open a different time, that they were all searching for this little boy, and then put like, the number up if you'd seen him, that kind of stuff. That's saying something, especially now. Our economy is crap. People who own restaurants are not even close to making back the money that they lost during COVID. So to voluntarily close yourself down when you're back open to look for somebody you might not know, that's amazing. Those are good people. Those are good people. You're experiencing burnout. On which one? You have a low-level crush on him? Who? Oh, the sheriff in that other, yeah, in Idaho. I'm following. I read these little messages backwards sometimes. I scroll up and then I'm like, oh, there's another one I didn't see. I should read these in the right order, and then they probably make some sense, huh? Yeah. Haven't heard. It was amazing. Yep. Oh, when is Lori's date to be back in court for competency? I have no idea on that one. I don't even know that she has a court date. From what I understand, they declared her incompetent. She was committed. They're doing evaluations. I don't think we know at what point of that she is in. Is she being medicated? Is she being treated some other way? Is she still at the mental hospital? Is she back at the jail? All I know is she is still in a stay. There's been a lot of filings the past 2 weeks now that are interesting, which will lead me into what I'm getting ready to do in a minute. But who knows? So I do not know the next court date for Daybell. I don't know. For Lori, I have no idea. I know there's a date out there floating for Chad, but I really don't expect that to stick. Do you guys? I don't think that's going to stick. Summer Wells, end of September. Okay. Hello, Julie. They're very good people who live there. Haiku made it. Hello, Haiku. We talked about perfume earlier. That was fun. I'm telling you, we talk about random stuff in Discord. You never know. We talked about perfume. God knows we've talked about makeup and food to the nth degree. And actual true crime stuff. It's less. Oh, you're from Ohio. Nancy Drew's in Ohio. I used to live in Cincinnati. You're expecting Texas to shut back down for COVID. I'm expecting a lot of places to shut back down for COVID. I know some people in Oregon that say it's really, really bad right now. Some of y'all know my parents just moved to Panama, not Panama City, Florida, but the actual country, Panama. And they just finished their first week. And I asked them, what's COVID like down there? And they said that they are super, super careful. Everybody is super, super strict. When they walk out of their condo door, they have to have a mask on. They hit them with hand sanitizer when they come out of the bottom and check your temperature. She said, wherever you go, everybody's wearing a mask. If you go eat, they take your temperature at the door. They give you hand sanitizer before you go in. You do not take a mask off until you are seated, and then, reverse that on out the way out. Grocery stores are the same way. But she said that they don't have any of the variants yet, and that their COVID numbers are super, super low. They live in an expat community in Panama. They're loving it, by the way. I put some pictures that they sent me in Discord. It was so funny. My mom said, I have finally eaten at the best restaurant I've ever eaten in my life. That's saying something, I think. Mom's eating at some pretty good places. She's a pretty well traveled little booger. So I was like, really? What kind of food is it? She said, I laughed. She said, Italian. It's the best Italian food I've ever had in my life. And I said, in Panama. She said, yep, Panama. I was like, okay. I asked her, is there anything you guys forgot to pack that you wish you had? Because I'm trying to get some stuff ready to send. And she was like, well, we were overweight on our luggage, so we had to get rid of some stuff at the airport. And I'm thinking, it's some precious family heirloom, you know? I don't know what I was thinking. They would have to leave. But my cousin and her husband had dropped my parents off at the airport. So I said, well, did you give it to her to take back home and, keep for you till you come back? They're coming back in December. And she was like, well, yeah, but it wasn't that important. And I was like, well, what was it? What did you take out? What did you decide to leave? Or what are you missing? And she said, well, me and Dad really could have used those Werther soft caramels last night. We really wanted something sweet in the room. We were both too lazy to go get it. And I laughed. I thought only my mom would say what she missed was some candy. It's so funny. I laughed. Lori's court date is the 17th of August. Stephanie Rossi of August? September? I must have missed the date. So this is the first time my dad has ever attempted retirement. He retired days before he left for Panama. And my parents have been working since they were like 14. My mom worked until 3 days before my youngest brother was born and went back to work in 5 weeks. I mean, that woman has worked my whole life and most of her own. So to see them go down there, I was like, I don't know how Dad's going to do it. I don't think he knows how to retire. And sure enough, about Wednesday, I open up Facebook and the picture that Dad has posted in Panama on day 2 or 3 is a picture of the hot water heater in the condo. And I was like, what are you doing? And he is talking about, this is the smallest hot water heater I have ever seen, but it works better than any hot water heater I have ever installed in my life. And there was like 17 people in the comments. Where do we get that, David? Can you come install it? And I guess some people haven't caught on that they're in Panama. And he was like, I cannot install it for you. I can tell you what it is, maybe where you can get it. But you can see it wasn't that big, like an electric box, maybe not even as big as an electric box. It wasn't that big. And I didn't even notice it, but when I showed somebody else, they were like, is that a banana? It had like a little pipe coming out up here. And sure enough, there was a banana sitting on it. And I went back to ask him about it, and he was like, somebody said, so does the banana help? And he was like, oh, I guess it's just for scale. It's about 2 bananas wide and about 8 bananas tall. I guess he had sat down part of his breakfast and took a picture of it. I laughed so hard. Can't forget about the banana. August 17th at 10 Eastern, Lori Vallow court date. It says in Madison County. Okay, there you go. They kept up with that better than I did. And did you say that's her competency hearing? I mean, I know somebody else asked that. Is that what that date is tied to? Or is it for a hearing for all this new? Well, I guess it would have to be. They can't have a hearing for her and a stay, huh? I guess it would have to be competency. Or else it's going to get punted down the road, I guess. You want the hot water details? I got one of those. That's so funny. Oh, it might be a status hearing. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It probably is. I don't think she's been. Well, I know she hasn't publicly, like officially, been declared competent yet. I do know that. I don't know what's going on um, in the background over there. I don't know where she's at. People are saying that Mark Means is over at the jail just about every day, which is saying something because that's what 4 hours away from where he's from. So I guess I would assume that she's back at the jail, and doesn't mean she's competent though. It could be they could be treating her at the jail. Apparently, that's the thing. According to Lori Hillis, I watched her live on Hidden True Crime Friday night, and she talked about could that she would be a high risk patient, and they might not want to keep her for security reasons. That it might be better for her to be back in the jail for her own safety if she can be taken care of there. So I would have thought they would have kept her at the hospital, but she's a lawyer. I ain't going to argue with her. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's so hard to talk about that because your first instinct is to say, oh, she's faking it. She's faking it. She's manipulating people. But then again, you've got to be a level of crazy to have pulled off what she allegedly has pulled off. You know what I mean? Just nuts. You've been watching the live feed from the from the volcano. That scooted up on me. Now, yeah, I saw that earthquake in Haiti. What about that? Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so I'll answer what I can because y'all obviously want to talk about Daybell. Why hasn't Chad been appointed a death penalty lawyer? Here's what I know. Chad Daybell is being represented by John Pryor. John Pryor has been hired through him personally. He's not been declared indigent, and he doesn't have a court-appointed defense attorney. He hired John Pryor. So he is given the option of hiring a death penalty qualified attorney to replace John Pryor, or if he files to be declared indigent, the court will appoint him one, I'm sure, like they did Lori. But since he is not incompetent or indigent, he gets the final say in who represents him, including himself. He could fire him and do it himself if he wanted. So that's why he hasn't been appointed one. The court doesn't have the jurisdiction to appoint him one. He is not a ward of the state. He's in the jail. He's not. We're not responsible for him with our tax dollars yet. Well, I'm not responsible anyway. I don't live in Idaho. From what I understand, Lori got one because Lori was declared indigent before she was found to be incompetent. And Mark Means is not a death penalty qualified lawyer. So they have assigned her one. And I guess when she becomes declared competent, she can make the decision to dismiss them. She can, I'm assuming, get rid of Mark Means if she wanted to, or she can keep them both. And Idaho's tax dollars will be paying that. So there's that. His name was Archibald. Don't know very much about him, but that's just from what I've gathered. Obviously, I'm not law enforcement. I don't have a legal anything. Just from what I understand the laws and what other people have explained that are lawyers, that's kind of what I understand it to be. You haven't called yourself a judge and you haven't been sworn in for 2 days. Oh, Levin called yourself. I thought you said I haven't. I have not had much sleep since Thursday. When I don't get a lot of sleep, I'm legally blind. For people who don't know that, and in one eye. So I get like this blur thing. It's kind of like the bloom if you drive at night that you see like that halo thing around the lights. So I thought Algo said that he had not declared himself judge or sworn in 2 days. That's so funny. They said it could be next year. I kind of think it'll be longer than that, to be honest. If you have been around for a while, you know that I would tell you. I watched the Tim Jones Jr. trial. It took them 4.5 years to take his death penalty case to trial. He tried to claim criminal insanity, and he confessed, and it still took 4.5 years. He didn't get it. He got the death penalty, as he should. That was such a horrible, horrible case. I still think about his ex-wife on the stand. Still. That woman screamed, and it, as a mother, that touched something in my heart. I don't think I've ever been that raw. It was really hard to watch her. Nancy Drew. Did I miss something else? Dang it, my little thing quit scrolling again on me. Okay. Oh, I'm still scrolled up to where One was Steel joined the channel. It's so hard for me to keep up with that kind of stuff in StreamYards because everything is in black and white. So if somebody joined the channel or gave a super sticker or super chat and I missed it, I'm sorry. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what else do y'all want to talk about? Makes sense. Their assets could be separated. Well, they had spent a good chunk of it, from what I understand, before they were arrested. I know that John Pryor is on the deed to Chad's house, Chad and Tammy's house, which could be how he's been paid. But and this is also my opinion and the way I understand it, so don't take this as gospel. From what I understand, if he is found guilty of her murder, he forfeits his right to her estate, and it will become a civil thing. I think it has to go through civil court. It will be removed from John Pryor because he will not have had the authorization to take it, and it will go back to Tammy's kids as part of her estate. Oh, God. You guys are still talking about the hot water heater. You are my dad's kind of people. I'll have to tell him he'll have to make a guest appearance to answer questions about this daggone hot water heater. You can see his whole explanation and the comments and the picture of it on my Discord channel. I think it's under the general tab. If it's not, and I put it in mod chat, I will repost it for people that want to know what it is. That's so funny. Also, the crimes were committed before they were married, if they're joint. That's a good point. I'll go. I didn't think about that. Yeah. True. True. We have a Punky Brewster in the channel. That's amazing. I used to love that show. Were they even married long enough to mesh assets? I don't think they were married long enough to mesh a lot of things, if you know what I mean. You think she clearly knew what she was doing? Julie, I agree. The amount of planning that went into this stuff, she was not. People who are criminally insane don't try to cover up crimes because they're criminally insane. That technically means you don't know what you're doing is wrong. That's what got Tim Jones Jr., that idiot, wrote a list. He made a list of the crap that he would have to do to cover this up. who he needed to contact, who he needed to lie to, where he needed to go, what he needed to do. That man, he was something. Oh, now are we talking about Summer? I don't even know, guys. Like this week, I talked about Summer Wednesday. I scheduled this live because I know Chris over at the interview room was going to do a live at 8 o'clock Eastern. So I thought I'll give myself 2 hours because I know that I'll watch it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to watch it. Seems to be a ton of people watching the interview room in regards to Summer. But I cannot even keep up with the amount of people that are doing interviews in regards to the Summer case. I mean, do you know, like the people when they win the lottery, everybody comes running. They're all related to you, and they need to know you because you have won the lottery. You have 1,500 cousins. It's like Lilo and Stitch all over again. That's what has happened in this case. We got step sisters, real sisters, step daughters, adopted kids, grandma kids, other kids, aunts, uncles, friends from work, friends from church. Everybody and their mama knows something about this case, good, bad, or ugly. Most of it's ugly. But this week it seems like it just blew up. I couldn't even keep up with it. I have not seen so many interviews this week. I just didn't have time. How long the case will take. If it's a civil case, I don't know. The longest trial that I can remember, y'all can correct me, like consecutive, I swear, the Durst trial, that one seems to go on freaking forever, and then they recommence, and you're like, geez, that guy is still alive. I feel like that trial has been taking forever. The longest trial in my memory, start to finish, was OJ, and it was 9 months consecutive. I mean, they didn't take breaks in there. It was 9 months. Casey Anthony's took quite a while too, but I mean, nothing in comparison to that. But I don't know how long it's going to take. But like when they put the trial date on the calendar, didn't they only ask for 3 weeks? Isn't that what the prosecutors asked for? And they usually give the defense about the same amount of time unless they ask for different. I'm pretty sure it was 3 weeks. So. Or was it 3 weeks altogether? I think it was 3 weeks is what the prosecutors asked for at the time. You'll probably get a better idea when they go to a prelim. If they go to a prelim. That might be a question for somebody legal. Since these are new charges, will they even have a prelim? Or since they were indicted by the grand jury, does that's enough? We just go to trial. I know Lori passed on her preliminary trial after Chad's. Probably didn't think that would go so well for her, huh? No one could tell me any. Yeah, I think so. That's why I brought her on Wednesday. No one is on top of that Summer Wells case. I guess I should have said she's diabolical. Yeah, that could be. I'm sure she's been called worse than that, too. Don might start his own YouTube? Huh. Well, if people are right in the assumptions that he has something to do with this, any money he's thinking about making on YouTube will be confiscated. I can promise you that. I'm not saying he is. I don't know. I don't even know what I think about that case anymore, to be honest. The more people talk, the less sure I am. How weird is that? I think the further out from the actual incident, the you're not getting more information. You're getting more story. I think the valid interviews were interviews and statements that were done back then, because now they can be interpreted so many ways. People can repeat other people's memories, and it seems like it's them giving a detailed blow by blow, like they were there, and they're not. Sorry, my throat's still getting kind of stupid. OJ's trial took ages. Yep, it did. In my personal opinion, I wish the feds would take the stupid Daybell case. They can take crimes in every state. And they're eligible to take it because of the fraud charges. Those are federal charges. They do these cases so much faster. They're not drug out. And if it's a death penalty case, they tend to execute rather quickly compared to a state. They have more resources. And I personally don't want to see them have another trial. I don't want to watch Lori, after this goes through, go to Arizona and start a whole nother 3-ring circus. I wouldn't mind if they shipped her to Arizona, though. I think she's more likely to get the death penalty down there than she is in Idaho. Who knows? Maybe they could put her in a room with old Jody Arias and they can sing karaoke. That could be a thing, right? They can explain to each other how they're more religious than the other one while they killed their loved ones. What a joke. All right. So, got Kay, are you ready to join me? Are you ready? Algo, are you going to jump into? Y'all ready? Send me a message. I'm not going to throw you in here until I know you're ready. And Algo has to rejoin. Just click the same link I gave you earlier. How do I want to start this? I don't want to say the wrong thing. This one is going to be in regards to Daybell. Got Kate ready. All right, I'll go when you jump in here. Yes, the messages you're sending me are yes. I'll go. Is that a yes? Yeah, okay. Here is 2 of my lovely mods. Algo, who's just been sworn in to be a lawyer, and got Kay, who is fun. I don't think she's been sworn in to be anything this week, but here they go. There's got Kay, and there's Algo.
Hello.
Can you hear me? There you go. You're super loud too.
Oh,
That's probably a good thing. Can you guys hear her? Everybody clear? Y'all heard stuff in the background last week that I did not hear. You guys good? Algo, say something.
hello.
Yep, there
Can you
you
hear
go.
me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can
Okay.
you guys hear? Okay, so you guys know, has it been 3 weeks now? 3 weeks? 3 weeks ago Friday, in regards to the Val Daybell case, Sherry, the lady who recorded the phone call with Melanie Gibb, did an interview. Okay. I got upset during the interview and I did a live when it was over because there were people in the chat calling Sherry a liar, taking up for Awen Reese, who was my best friend, and she was lying about some stuff. She was doing some real sketchy junk in the background. And I did a live because the only people who could have settled the argument at that point were family members. And I didn't think that it was right that social media crap should be thrown in the lap of the family members because it's bad enough what they're going through without dealing with social media drama. Yeah. I said my piece. I did a live. At the time, I said I wasn't going to answer questions. That was going to be my only statement. And I wasn't going to take it down. And I wasn't going to moderate the comments. And I didn't. Some more stuff has come to light. I've gotten people out the woodwork trying to send me information, give me information, tell me their side of the story, that kind of thing. And I talked to people who were close to me and I said, what do I do with this? Do I keep it where it's at and move on? Do I explain it? Do I defend myself? Do I show proof? Like, what do I do? And until very recently, I decided to stay quiet. People could say whatever they wanted to about me. I just let it go. The information that was sent to me was not mine to put out, if you know what I mean. I was sent emails that belong to other people, and I don't want to. I'm not doing that. It's not mine to put out. There's information that I have and Got K has that is her information. It's hers to have. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to show it. It will be redacted. I know I'm kind of I'm trying to think of how to explain. I'm not angry. I'm not vindictive. I'm not trying to take her down. I'm not trying to ruin her life. But right now is a very weird place in this case. Things have been sent in to the prosecutors, and that's been verified. Kara can talk about that if she wants to. I've verified stuff through other people so that I know for myself what's actually happened and what hasn't happened in regards to what I was told. So we are going to share a couple of things. So this will be, in my opinion, not my opinion, this is in Awen's own words. These are messages from Awen herself talking about what she did in detail. So it's not me trying to say, let me tell you this, I'm going to tell you all about it. This is my opinion. This is the way I took it. These are direct messages, time and date stamped. And who knew about what? So, Kara, you want to say anything before we do this?
Nope. I think we just start and then we take it from there.
Okay. I'll go. You got anything?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, wrong button. Where are my files? Should I play the audio first or the screenshots?
I think audio first to put it in context.
Okay, so this video, I'm sure after tonight, will be made private and not my video, the video that I'm going to play you, which I'm going to have to close YouTube out because I have to turn the volume on. Where is that? There we go. Y'all have to let me know if you can hear it when I Get it going. Yeah, that's it.
Give me a second to get YouTube caught up to us. All right, this is. I'm sorry, I gotta mute that. All right, Unexpected Live.
Can y'all
I
hear
didn't
that?
know when this was going to drop, so I didn't plan for it. But here we are. We got some news. We do not have the charges yet, which what I really would have preferred to come to you live about tonight. But we don't have charges so far. But we do have this happy little piece of paper. It's actually 6 pages. I told y'all last week that Melanie Gibb was subpoenaed outside of the courthouse after testifying in the grand jury. And a lot of people didn't believe me, told me I was crazy. Well, tough. It's real. Here we go. So we're going to read through this because it's fun. You know, Melanie Gibb is like my number one in my mind of who I want to see in trouble for this. All right. Certainly all the stuff we've talked about the last couple of days with that phone call, you know, and here's a subpoena that followed. This subpoena is not a result of the grand jury. This is completely separate. This comes from actually Mark Means. He is subpoenaing Melanie Gibb. So there you go. We're going to talk about that. So we're going to read through it, talk about what's in it. Oops, my phone is blowing up. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Oh, Scentbird. Scentbird wanted to talk to me. Okay, yeah, well, they can wait. So yeah, this just dropped. It's not even up on the court website yet, but let's run with it. Let's get into it. So I'm going to read through all 6 pages as quickly as I can. I know it's, you know, whatever. It looks blurry when I'm looking at it at my screen. What about you guys? Is it blurry for you guys? I want to make it clear so you can read it. It could just be my YouTube. I don't know. All right, so hopefully it'll be clear enough for you to read it. Can I make it bigger? Would that help? Does that look any clearer for you guys? Yeah, I'm not sure why it's blue. If I make it bigger, then it won't all fit on the screen. I guess that's okay. However, if you want the document is up in my Discord channel, so you can just come and grab it and read it that way. All right, but follow along as best you can. I'll read it out loud. So let's read it, and then we can talk about what it all means. And then we will talk about that phone call because, boy, did that explode today. All right, so this is the state of Idaho to Ms. Melanie Gibb. Wait, the state of Idaho? Oh, subpoena deuce is taken. Okay. You are hereby commanded to produce or permit inspection and copying of follow documents, records, communications, images, videos, journals, reports, summaries, or objects. All requested are to be produced regardless of current or previous form, whether that be tangible or intangible, including electronically stored information at the place, date, and time specified below. State of Idaho to Ms. Melanie Gibb to produce the following. All communications, texts, emails, voicemails, SMS messages, chat records, social media communications, podcast recordings, and the like, tangible or intangible, between you, Ms. Melanie Gibb, and the following individuals, agencies, departments, and the like from January 2019 to present. Go on to page 2. All right, here's the list of names. These are all the people that they want to know who she talked to and what they talked about. Lori Vallow Daybell, Chad Daybell, Melanie Pulowski, formerly known as Melanie Boudreau, Ian Pulowski, Zulema Pastenis, Summer Shiflett, April Raymond, Charles Vallow, Tylee Ryan. Now, we know they're deceased, but she may have email communications or something like that she'll have to turn over, okay? That's why they're on the list. Jason Mao, Gabe Benilla, Alex Cox, Zach Cox, Adam Cox, Colby Ryan, Tammy Daybell, Julie Rowe, Christopher Parrott, Michael James, Nancy James. And that makes me laugh. Brandy Boudreau, Thor Furuset. Oh, goodness. Heather Daybell, spouse of Matthew Daybell. Matthew Daybell, spouse of Heather Daybell. Robert Wood, prosecutor of Madison County. Eek. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Any and all news, journalists, and or reporters, including but not limited to Nate Eaton, East Idaho News, ABC, NBC, Dateline, MSNBC, Keith Morrison, Shane Bishop, Color My Media, Latter Day Media, Preparing a People, Book of Mormon Evidence, the Firm Foundation, any and all media agencies, companies, corporations regarding your dealings and the like with Lori Daybell and Chad Daybell. Oh, goodness. All right, I want to read through it before we talk about it. So here we go. Deputies, detectives, police officers, prosecutors, and the like for the following agencies. Rexburg Police, Madison County Sheriff, Rob Wood, Fremont County Sheriff, St. Anthony, Idaho Police Department, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Fremont Prosecutor, Madison Prosecutor, Chandler, Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona. Please identify each and every location, date and time, and persons present for said communications, whether in person, telephonic, Zoom, or the like. Telephone records for all telephone numbers owned or used by you from the date above to present, not included or including cell records, telephone call records. Identify all telephone numbers you have used personally, professionally, temporarily, aka burner phones, there you go, or permanently in regard to identified persons above. Identify all telephone number and service providers. Name, dates, and times of service provider for any and all telephone numbers used by you as requested above. Please include and identify each in its entirety, the telephone numbers of all phones, whether personal, business, or burner telephone. In identifying each and every telephone number, please further identify the dates of use of said telephone number and the telephone carrier or company providing telephone services. Whew, that's a lot of words. Travel records for all travel, vehicle, and or airline flights between the dates of January 1st, 2018 to present. All travel between Utah, Arizona, Idaho, and Hawaii. Any other travel locations within the specified dates. Man, this is good. Social media. All social media memberships or associations and forum site memberships, usernames and passwords associated with identified username, posts, communications, chats, and or emails from the date above to present, including but not limited to Facebook, Avow. Another voice of warning. Yahoo groups or email lists, Twitter, Instagram, any of the like. If you refuse to produce the password, please identify each date of communication and the like associated with said social media account and produce all accompanying communications, statements, opinions, religious speech, emails, chat records, etc. Going on. Internet provider. Please identify your internet provider, whether professional or personal, from dates above to present, whether this be home, business, or the like. Computers and or electronic devices. Please identify each and every computer, laptop, desktop, tablet, iPhone, cell phone, wearable smart devices, or the like you have used or owned since date to present. My goodness. Please identify provider, seller of said device, current location of said device if not in your possession. If device was destroyed, sold, discarded, please advise of purchase, acquisition date of said device and date of destruction, sell, discard, or of said device. If you sold or discarded an identified device, please identify what mechanism of advertising was used by you or your agent and or buyer's contact information, name, address, telephone number, email, and the like. If discarded, please identify the date and time of discarding identified device and mechanism for discard. Podcast. Please produce all podcasts and the like, including all formally shared, posted podcasts, as well as all recorded materials, communications, edits, recordings associated with identified podcasts, or the like in your possession. If you are aware of the like and identified is not in your possession, please identify your opinion or belief as to where the identified recording podcast material is located, including number 1, the series Feel the Fire podcast. Number 2, series Time to Warrior Up podcast. Number 3, series Preparing a People podcast. Whew. Books, publications, and appearances. Feel the Fire. Oh, goodness, they want to read her book. And 2, Preparing a People events. Book of Mormon evidence events, Firm Foundation events, or the like. If not in your possession, please identify whereabouts of said documents and or records. All communications between you and the above individuals regarding creation of publications, books, articles, speeches, appearances, etc. Any and all records, data, communications, calendars, event records, statement records, videos, photographs, books, speeches, talks, paper documents, this could be like a song. Transfer of monetary funds, yada, 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 yada. All recordings identified previously of your oh goodness. All recordings as identified previously of your misrepresentations to any and all police agencies and or the like from January 1, 2017 to present. Ooh, that's an interesting date. Copy of any and all police records regarding charges, convictions, plea agreements, immunity agreements regarding your involvement in this matter. Holy cow. That was, I should be one of those, what do you call it? Those things where you sell stuff really fast. Auction. I should be an auctioneer. I can read fast. So there you go. I haven't seen anything in chat because I was reading that, but let's talk about this. Woo. All right, so we knew she was subpoenaed. I told you that last week. And now, honestly, if I got a subpoena like this, I don't know if I could come up with all that information. I really don't. My God, that's it's very broad in its scope. But yeah, that's the thing. Hi, Jess. Hi, Scorpio Rouge. Hi, Miss Sophia. Thanks to everyone for being here. I'm sorry I've ignored chat, but I wanted to read that. I could not wait to read that document. So that was the first time I read it. I didn't read it before I came live. I grabbed it and turned on the camera. So, well, not with the camera exactly. So yeah, there we go. Let's talk about it. So yeah, that is that's a big document. Let me back up and talk to you about. Let's start with this list of names. That is a very complete list of names. Do you not agree with that? All right, guys, we all pick on Mark Means. All right, I know we do. You do, I do, although I'm nicer than most of y'all. But this list right here is like, somebody's done some homework, don't you think? That looks a little homeworky to me. Let's look at this list of names. We've got Lori Vallow Daybell, obviously. Chad Daybell, obviously. Melanie and Ian Pulowski, obviously. Zulema Summer, April Raymond. Now, Charles and Tylee and Tammy, that's all because she may have had texts or something with them, right? Okay, it's hard to see their names, and I get that, but there may be records in existence. But then we've got Jason Mao. Jason Mao is finally in a court document, and I could talk about him. I've told you guys for like the last year, I'm not talking about Jason Mao because he's not in the court documents, and that guy is scary. So here he is. He's on that list. Jason Mao is on that list, Woman of Steel. Yes, he is. So obviously the defense wants to know everything Melanie talked to you about with Jason Mao. Woo! Guys, I know this is the defense. We're not supposed to be cheering for the defense, but good gracious, I'm so glad to see that man's name on a list somewhere. How about you? All right, so right under Jason Mao is Gabe Bonilla. Now, this is a thing. Gabe Bonilla, do y'all know who he is? Sorry, muted for a second. Jason Mao and Gabe Bonilla. Gabe Bonilla is was, I guess, the bishop of the ward where Charles and Lori lived when they were married. When Charles got back from his trip in, January of 2019, and Lori had taken his truck and locked him out of the house and taken all his money, it was Gabe Bonilla who picked up Charles at the airport and drove him home. He is there in the video when Charles is on the body cam telling the police that night, hey, I'm locked out of my house. What do I do? And Bishop Gabe is right there. Right now, the curious thing, Bishop Gabe was close enough to Charles to go pick him up at the airport and bring him home. However, when the police were talking to Gabe Bonilla, he downplayed all of Charles's concerns. Because Charles was saying, Lori's crazy. She wants to kill me, all this stuff. And Gabe's like, nah, it's all right. Now, that was curious and concerning to me. However, Gabe Bonilla was very good friends with Jason Mao and Jason Mao's wife. Jason Mao did a book or whatever, and his photographer that he uses is Gabe's wife. So they're very close. So Jason Mao and Gabe Bonilla's relationship.
All right, that's enough of that. There's more of it. So I doubt it won't be taken down really quickly, but I have it recorded. I guess we'll start with some questions. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, where do we start with that?
Yeah. I saw somebody say, do I really think that she wrote it? Yeah, I know she did.
She told us she did.
Absolutely.
Whether she's telling the truth or not, we can't confirm because neither one of us saw the document before it went up on the website, the court website, or was released. But she told us that she did, and we were having conversations behind the scenes about it. So,
I'm just gonna make one thing real clear at the beginning. I nor anybody that I've spoken with has said that they have seen a document. I've never seen a single document of anything that she ever spoke about. So I'm not even accusing, in no way, shape, or form, Mark Means. I'm completely aware that this could be a delusional woman at this point. I will say stuff has come out the way that she said it would. So, explain that one away. I, for the life of me, can't make heads or tails what he gets out of this situation. So, the comments that keep coming to me as whatever, that she's a journalist and every kind of journalist would be trying to talk to the lawyers and it's their fault if they're stupid enough to answer it, and who cares how she got the information leaked, at least now we know what's in the information, blah 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 blah, on and on and on. Now I know nobody's going to want to hear this, but the phone call is said to be straight from Discovery. When I did that live, I explained it, but I'll give you all the cliff notes in case you don't know. Sherry posted in Annie's Facebook group that she had a phone call and there was like a mini transcript of what she said was in the call. She gave a copy of it to Annie. It had already been turned into the police, that kind of stuff. I asked Awen because I saw the post. I said, "Do you know who this girl is? I've never heard of her. Who, what is this?" She was played the phone call. I was told about the phone call. I've seen a screenshot, and if you've been in her Discord, she's shown it to quite a few people where she's asking Sherry if she wants to do an interview. Sherry says she's going on vacation. She'll talk about it when she comes back in 2 weeks, and maybe they'll do an interview with Annie. And she says, "I deleted my copy. Ask, you can get it from Annie." Okay, so that was the text that I was shown. Instant, whatever, Facebook Messenger. That's what I was shown. That's what I know that everybody else has been shown. The next day I get a message saying she says she's going to do a live to talk about it. Okay. I get a message the next morning about 30 minutes or so before the live, maybe 45. I come in late. There was already some people in the chat room, and I missed the first 10 or 15 minutes of the phone call. But I listened to it, and then she stopped it at a certain point and said, "Oh, you don't have to hear the rest of it. That's it. And will you go live with me to talk about it?" And I said, "Sure." I had thoughts. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was absolutely Melanie Gibb. I don't know if what she said was true or she was bragging to somebody to make it sound like she's more involved than she is. I have no idea. I don't have proof or evidence that Melanie Gibb is involved. I have ideas. I have what I've been told, and that kind of stuff. So after the live, a lot of people were saying, where's the call? Where's the call? Where can we get the call? Are you sure it's Melanie? Is it valid? Are you something to the effect of, should you be airing this because it could be used in court, not just YouTube kind of thing? And she released I told her, I'll be honest, I told her, release it. If they told you that you could release it and gave you the thing, we knew that Sherry was in a two-party state, so it could not be used in a court of law. So I said, release it. If they all said to release it, and then nobody's going to bug you about it. She released like a 25-second clip, and then she said that Sherry had a meltdown and flew all over her for releasing it. She said Sherry was bipolar, blah, blah, blah. She didn't know what to do, so she made that private. I was like, okay, whatever. So the drama still goes on about release it, whatever. And I'm like, I don't understand, because apparently Sherry changed her mind again, because like, we saw another text message where she was like, oh, okay, I understand. I have no idea, guys. So I said, oh, release it. Why are we still playing this game? It was like a week and a half later. Just release the stupid thing and be done with it. Why are we moderating comments about something that you have? I don't get it. And she said, I can't release it. And I said, why? And she said, because my copy doesn't match. And I said, your copy doesn't match what? She said, my copy doesn't match the copy that Sherry gave Annie. And I said, why? What do you mean it doesn't match? She said, because I got this copy from Mark Means. Annie wouldn't give it to me. She didn't want it. She didn't want to have that decision or whatever. And mine doesn't match. My copy is 55 minutes long. This copy is 22 or 23 minutes, I think it is. And one of them is sped up. So the reason Melanie sounds manic in the copy that's out there, like she's just blah, 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 like a chipmunk, that copy has been sped up to 1.25. She is literally being sped up in the other, so that's why she sounds manic. That's probably not legitimate. Anyway, so I said, you did what? And she said that when they didn't give it to her, she asked Mark Means if he knew about it. He said no. She told him to search for the MP3 or MP4 file, and that he found it in the discovery files and gave it to her. So, yes, I heard it. Yeah, I talked about it. No, I didn't know it was coming from Mark Means. So that's where the phone call dispute comes in. Do I know that she got it from him? No, I can't prove that she got it from him. I'm sure there are people that can, namely prosecutors and investigators, because if it's in discovery, they had it. So there's that. Yeah. Karen, I'll go. I've been talking. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like, that's how we got here.
Yeah, it's good to have a background. So I'm trying to remember dates and times and the timeline of everything. And it's important to remember that everything was happening so tight that it felt like as soon as we were done dealing with one thing, we were then dealing with another. And it was just like a sandwich. So I can confirm that what Jess said is absolutely true. We were in chat and we were getting the audio and other things were happening at the same time. We were hearing rumblings about incompetency and rumors that way. We were hearing about subpoenas that were being written and all of this stuff happening behind the scenes. She, like I said before, we don't know for sure that she wrote the subpoena because none of us saw the document before it went, but she knew what was in it, 100%. And we knew the list of people that were going to be on it because she went through it with us in the research server. And we were like, okay. Okay. Not really understanding maybe the magnitude of it. But also, you sort of expect that a lawyer who gets a draft from somebody, if that's what Abram was supposed to do for him, was going to read through it. I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but she definitely was talking about how she had her hand in it and how much fun it was going to be and all of that stuff. And at the same time, 2 months later, she's out saying, I've never written any of his documents. I've never proofread any of his documents. I've never seen any of his documents. And gleefully talking about how somebody did their homework. And that's interesting. Hi, Elgo. I just saw you pop back in.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you.
accidentally close this a bit back. Accidentally.
Sorry. Didn't mute that. Okay. Yep, you're
Well,
back. Anything like you can keep going, Kara, if you want.
yeah.
No, I mean, I'm thinking that people probably gonna have questions too, but I mean, I never spoke to Mark Means. I never had direct contact with Mark Means. I just know that what Avon was talking about as coming from Mark Means. None of us had contact. But it, yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what, yeah,
None of us had like it was very compartmentalized.
very.
You know, after the fact, we kind of pieced it together. None of us had ever spoken to Lori Hellis or any of the family, investigators, lawyers, whoever. We spoke to each other. That was about
Right.
it. So, and a lot of pieces have come in now that I've left. So, this was sent in.
Yeah.
Weeks ago.
Yes.
And part of the reason that we're talking about it right now is because I really expected, if this is true, I expected Mark Means to be off the case by now, to be quite honest. And if you don't see what the problem in that is, in my opinion, if you were Lori Vallow, and I know she's despicable, I know that. God knows I'm not taking it for that woman. If it was you, and you were, it doesn't even matter if you're guilty or innocent, you have personally hired a lawyer, and you are going to a mental hospital to be committed because you are incompetent. Yes, I mean, faking it or really, that doesn't matter. While you are there and there's a stay in your case and your lawyer has allegedly leaked documents out of discovery and your personal medical health records that are current, how is that protecting your constitutional rights?
Yeah, that's where I can chime in a bit.
Yep.
Not only do we have a code of conduct which totally prohibits us to do anything that goes against our client's best interest, but there is also the law itself. And if this is true, Mark Means clearly breached both because by leaking evidence to someone who wasn't a party in the trial, he's tainting a jury, uh, creating an environment that potentially can be against a fair trial. And the worst of all is that he leaked Lori Vallow's current mental diagnosis, and that's simply inexcusable. So I fully expect, if this is true, that there are ethical and legal repercussions for Mark Means. It's just beyond me how it hasn't happened yet, to be honest.
Yep. I thought, well, when we saw the sealed filing come in a few weeks ago, where the prosecutors were objecting to a defense attorney making an appearance citing a conflict of interest, I thought, that's it. That's it. And then we saw they decided to go for the death penalty in Chad's case. And then we saw the judge appointed a death penalty qualified lawyer to Lori. And I thought, that's a little weird because she hasn't been charged yet because there's a stay in her case. And then we talked about it and thought, oh, well, I'm going to guess to remove him, she has to have somebody in place before he can be removed. So we waited a little bit longer. And then Friday stuff came out, and it appears Mark Means has been appointed co-counsel anyway. So I don't know. I do not know if something is coming down the pipe legally for him. And I'm not saying that I know that he did it. I'm absolutely not. And to be honest, if she's lying about it, she could ruin his life. No matter how bad you hate the guy, don't like him, can't stand him, would never let him represent a rock in your front yard. He still has a family, and he has a right to do this job. He's trained for it, probably spent a lot of money getting this degree, and if, he can take the clients that he wants to. But some random person on YouTube shouldn't be accusing him of all this if he's not involved. So if he's not involved, okay. If he's not, people should worry about where these files are coming from.
Right.
Not only does it affect Lori, these are discovery files. Their discovery files are shared between her and Chad. So I'm kind of surprised John Pryor's not screaming. Does he not know what's been leaked? I don't know. There is other stuff that I'm not going to touch because it hasn't come out. It's been sent in. I'm not going to answer questions about stuff that happened with anybody besides me and okay. Stuff that's happened between her and Lori Hellis, that's for Lori Hellis and her to discuss. That's not my place, and I'm not going to discuss the family or anything else. I simply wanted to put in Awen's own words what happened. She can't accuse me of betraying her and stabbing her in the back. You can ask anybody that's around her, has been around her, in the research team, in the mod group. I have advised her from the day I found out she started talking to Mark Means to knock it off, to quit it. I thought he was taking advantage of her. I kept on telling her to quit every time until she said she signed an NDA. And even then, I personally was asked at the beginning, would I do a mock jury for Mark Means? And in my good old-fashioned smart-ass manner, said, absolutely. Tell me what kind of defense he is going to throw at her. And she said, well, what if Lori didn't know the kids were gone? What if they convinced her that the kids were safe and put away? And I said, yep, I want to sit on that jury. I will convince him that that is the best damn defense I've ever heard in my life. And there ain't a juror in America that would question it. She would be guilty of sin. That was me. I really thought she was kidding. I thought it was a joke. Apparently she asked some more people, and I don't know. It wasn't like in a group thing that I'm aware of. I was asked alone.
Yeah, she asked everybody alone.
Okay. So I don't know what everybody else answered. I'm not going to answer for that. And don't assume the people, if you know people that were in the research team or in the mod team, do not assume that they knew.
No.
Because there is a varying degree of what people knew and stuff that wasn't known beforehand. You can see in some of those screenshots, Got K asked her, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, Lori's been diagnosed incompetent with this diagnosis. And it's like, what? I mean,
yeah, like sometimes the information was just dropped.
Yeah.
But also we were told, I'm sorry, Jess, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I saw that somebody asked if the research team or the mods knew. And it's important to remember that we knew to a certain point, but at the same time that she was saying she was speaking to me, she was also saying she was speaking to the family, and she was also saying that she was speaking to other stakeholders in the case or other interested parties in the case, like reporters and stuff. So for us, we never knew where information was coming from, but we also, it was almost like everybody was working under the same umbrella to get justice and to make sure that justice was served. And that was the umbrella that we were working on until eventually each one of us independently took a step back and said, hold on, we're not under the umbrella we thought we were under, and this storm is not what we thought was happening. And started to sort of come out of it a bit. But no, we didn't know that we were working that closely with or for Means. We didn't know how much she was working for Means. I will admit that I don't know Mark Means. I've never spoken to the man. From what I've heard from Awen, he seems like probably a nice enough guy. Like, I don't know him. I wouldn't probably, if I passed him in the grocery store, I wouldn't probably give more than a couple of glances unless he was wearing the clothes that I would normally see him in. The version that we got from her was very targeted towards what she wanted us to do when she wanted us to do it. And the information that we got was most of the time just dropped. Or she would come and she would say, this is what we're looking at right now. And she would sell it as, this is what we're working on right now for her channel, for the family, for all involved. Did you get that impression, Jess, or am I off on that?
Yeah. And for somebody who asked his antlers, his code name, yeah, I think I gave that to him. Which brings another point.
Could we talk about the merch?
I made the comment. I called him Antlers because when we did these Zoom hearings, a lot of times he would sit perfectly under that damn pheasant. Is it a pheasant behind him?
I think so.
And the antlers. So I just called him Antlers. I probably called John Pryor some things I won't repeat, but I called him Antlers. And so I was on Amazon one day and I found a 2-pack of rhinestone Christmas antlers. They were just a headband and they were sparkly. And I sent one to Awen and I wore one. That was my idea. That wasn't her. I'll own my part in it. Absolutely. I'm not going to throw her under the bus for anything she doesn't deserve. My last live, I think I made that very clear, that I wasn't under the impression that she had been compensated, that she had done any of the research for any nefarious or malicious intent when I thought it started, which is not true. We've found out since, but anyway. But, the Antlers Amicus merch that's still for sale, that was sprung on us. Nobody else approved that, and I don't think anybody else knew about it. It was just announced that it was her new merch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she had the idea at like 4:00 in the morning, and the rest of us were going, "What?"
It's after I did my live, people came out of the woodwork with a piece of this and a piece of that, and it started getting worse. The story got worse. The more people that came out, and I'm gonna drag a bunch of people in here. It's not my story to tell. This is Kara's, and that's why I invited her on. Because I don't think it's fair to throw up emails from other people and them not get the option to contextualize it, answer a question, that kind of thing. And it's not my story to tell.
And for me, it's I can't describe it, but watching it now and putting all the pieces together, or not even all the pieces, but getting pieces slowly and trying to put them into perspective, and just sitting here for me thinking, this isn't just about an audio recording or anything like that. I mean, yes, what she did to Sherry was terrible, and that was one of my breaking points too, because it was a terrible thing to have happen to her, I'm sure. but it wasn't just about an audio. It's also about information that could jeopardize the case in many different ways. In my very kind of pessimistic way, I guess I'm thinking right now, and also coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm owning it. I'm owning a part of it that I played by being on this team and not questioning earlier."
Yeah. As far as like what everybody was told, I mean, people spoke to Awen to join the research team. This wasn't like a group decision. You'd log on and there'd be somebody new. Everybody was given different assignments. I don't know that everybody knew they were talking to Mark Means. I know it's been said over and over and over again that it's gone to the defense, it's gone to the prosecutors, and it's gone to the investigators. And that's not true. I know when certain people were given things, and that's a very different timeline and in a very different way. I do know that she was talking to Mark Means before January 6th, which is the day that I was told. So I really started to question, and I sat on this, and I sat on it, and I sat on it, and
And
maybe
isn't
don't
there
agree. Go ahead.
isn't there one of the screenshots that said that's dated February 10th or something
Yes, I think
that
so.
It's the day
says
before my birthday.
clearly that they've been talking for over a month? So that's right about the time, give or take. Then she says they started talking, and who knows if they went and had this working relationship before.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
I had something I wanted to bring up, but I forgot. If I remember,
Yep. Jump in anytime.
oh, I remember now.
Go ahead.
Back when Harry's call was first discussed and shared, I personally was dragged into this camp of bashing Sherry, calling her a liar, etc.
Me too.
But when you came up with your life, calling Owen out, I had to bend over backwards to Sherry to apologize because it wasn't right what what we have done. Um, I even commented on Hidden on that day that Lauren Matthias interviewed her to personally, or well, kinda personally tell her that I was sorry and all because well, Avon and all those people really try well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so unnecessary, isn't it? Because I just keep thinking, if she just told the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kept on and on and on and on with a lie and called us all liars. That's the worst part.
Well, I
I could
think
talk about
I don't know
how
what the worst part
she.
is.
No, yeah, definitely there are worse parts.
Um,
But I mean, she calls herself an advocate for narcissistic trauma and pulls this. That's odd, to say the least.
yeah. Um, be careful who you share your story with. And I think that's probably all I'm gonna say in regards to that. I was part of her toxic bliss thing, and knowing what's happened with certain people during that, I regret it. I regret every minute of it. If you're getting something out of it, I won't diminish it for you, but be careful who you tell your story to, because it might not belong to you after it's out there. Um, this isn't pretty. God K didn't want to talk about this. Not that I twist their arm. I mean, we obviously discussed it at length before we decided to do this, but we really thought we would see some movement, and it's not looking that way. I'm hoping that is coming if it's true. If it's not, y'all should not be going to her for a news on this case, guys. I think it's pretty evident she hasn't covered it in a while. Ask yourself why. We were told that she signed an NDA. I haven't seen it. No. I don't know. Just so much stuff has come out since that live. So, there might be some of you guys watching it that have a little piece of this puzzle, and don't send it to me. You don't have to tell me. I'm not collecting stuff. Everybody that's come to me, I've said, I do not want those emails. Do not send me those screenshots. I do not want your DMs. I don't want it. I don't. I'm not the collector. I do not want to be subpoenaed. These are got K's, and those were what she was comfortable putting out. And I had a platform that she didn't have. And then we involved Algo because Algo's the shiny new sworn-in lawyer. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't do anything to the case. I made, I asked him about redactions, what could be said, what couldn't be said, all that fun stuff. And just, his experience of the part of it. He wasn't a mod or on the research team, but obviously he was a member of Discord and her channel and all that kind of stuff. So it's not pretty.
And it keeps nothing pretty because as time, like, it feels like every day, I find one more person that really I would love to apologize to for something that I said or some unfairness that some misjudgment or something to that effect, because it's like, we've said it before, it's like when Dorothy lands in Oz and she opens up the door and the world is in color and it's like, oh okay, so this is how it is, okay. And she has to sort of adjust to it. It's that feeling.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
No.
I mean, I don't want to make this some long, drawn out thing. It's 8:00 anyway. Gosh,
Oh yeah,
that
of course.
2 hours went fast. What?
No, just it's 8:00 and there's an interview starting soon that people are.
Yeah.
Time flies.
It's going to be
Within-
the interview room. Chris is doing another thing about Summer Wells' case. So I'm not going to hold you guys. It's 2 hours. I appreciate it. If you guys are upset with me, don't understand why I did this, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I just don't want to see this go to trial with an attorney that's compromised two defendants, if he has. Get an appeal. I mean, that's the last thing any of us want to see is Lori or Chad get an appeal, because we just wanted to say, not my circus, not my monkeys. So thank you guys for spending 2 hours with your Sunday. Today probably was not as funny as I try to be. I will schedule another live for Wednesday. If you guys have a request for what you want to talk about Wednesday, send me a thing. If if you're still interested in being a Patreon or a channel member, the link and all that fun stuff is going to be on Discord. How to get your discount code to sign up for your subscription box for Hunt a Killer. You can use that discount code and not play with us. You can just get it for yourself or a gift for somebody else. Whatever you want to do. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will talk to you next time. Okay? Bye. Thanks, Got K and Algo, who already left me. Talk to you guys next